So I'm not sure because I'm 26 years old right now. I don't know exactly how many years I do karate. But I remember that I said I am a fighter. I said that from a very, very, very young age.
This podcast is facilitated by the World Karate Federation as part of its mission to promote and inform about karate globally. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily reflect the official position of the WKF.
This is a privilege to do another deep dive episode, Mitch.
This has been so amazing, the last few episodes that we've been doing. Just really getting to know everything about the athlete that we're talking to. Christos-Stefanos Xenos is the male kumite minus 60 kilogram representative from Greece.
So I saw some losses of Dionysus and I tried to catch them, to understand them, not to do the same myself. I saw some victories of Dionysus and I said, maybe this happens when you work so hard like your brother does.
Yes, hello. This is the World Karate Cast, the official podcast of the WKF, presented to you by Kaizen Culture. We are your hosts, Mitchell Durham and Nathan Blockley, and as they say in Greece, Yassas. Now, a special one to do that because we have a Greek guest on today, Christos-Stefanos Xenos from Greece, so we'll get him on to judge my Greek pronunciation. But as always, please make sure you're commenting down which country you're from, so we can try and greet you in your language. I think I did Greek pretty all right then.
I think you did pretty
Thanks.
well.
Yeah, it's not as hard as some of the other ones I've had to do.
But it is a great opportunity to do Greek for this episode because we do have one of the greatest Greek athletes of all time, and there are a lot of them as well. Greece has a massive history of success in the WKF, but this is a privilege to do another deep dive episode, Mitch.
Yeah, this has been so amazing, the last few episodes that we've been doing, just really diving into getting to know everything about the athlete that we're talking to. And, some of these athletes have amazing stories. Well, every athlete has amazing stories, but just specifically about how they go about their day and preparing for every competition and just the stories behind the athlete.
It's fantastic to hear more about these athletes that we're doing deep dives on, like the last two episodes, having Elena on to give more information than we got out of her in that first episode. And then last episode with Noah Bish. I mean, the value that chat and conversation brought, I wasn't expecting it, but I think that was like an hour and a quarter long. That was a long episode.
No, we were talking for a long time, and just to hear his philosophy behind coaching, and especially, I don't know, the traditional style of coaching back when we were younger, it felt like it was much more hard and, I don't know, strict. And then he was just saying about, I love all my athletes the same, whether you win or whether you lose, and just how he expects a high level because he knows that they can do really well. And just, that's super refreshing to hear that sort of style of coaching. And I wonder how many more coaches nowadays adopt that philosophy.
Yeah, well, you love your segues, Mitch. I'm going to double up here.
Oh, gosh.
All right, you mentioned philosophy.
Yeah. What
better way than go to a Greek for philosophy? It's where it originated. And Christos is a coach as well. He coaches his little sister. He coaches a lot of the junior Greek athletes at the moment. So I'm sure we'll get a lot of information about how he approaches both his training, but also his coaching as well.
But before we get into talking with Steph, we just want to say that we are recording this ahead of time. This is literally like a couple of days before Lishan Premier League. So we don't know the results. We don't know the results here, so this is why we're not talking about Steph's results from this championship. So just to put that out there, it'll be a pre-recorded episode. But Christos-Stefanos Xenos is the male kumite minus 60 kilogram representative from Greece, current number 3 in the world ranking, under 21 world champion in 2019 from Santiago in Chile, and then backed it up again with the senior world championships in 2023 in Budapest, Hungary. 2024 European champion, silver at the 2023 European Games, bronze at last year's World Games in Chengdu, China. Premier League record is insane with 12 medals, 8 bronze, 2 silver and 2 gold, and just countless, feats around the world, and just an amazing athlete to watch, just so tactical on the mat. And you can tell that comes from, obviously his mum, Maritza, and his brother Dionysus, who was also a phenomenal athlete in the minus 67 division.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for this episode. Let's bring him on.
Now, it is a pleasure to welcome onto the World Karate Cast today, Christos-Stefanos Xenos from Greece. How are you going today, mate?
Hello, guys. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I hope you are very well.
It is an absolute privilege, and thank you for taking the time, especially coming up to the Premier League in Lashan. We know you are very busy, and just for all the listeners out there, you seem to have two first names: is Christos and Stefanos. If I see you walking down, the other side of the room, am I saying "Hey Christos" or am I saying "Hey Stefanos"? Which one?
Yeah, it's true. I have two names, but you can call me casually with Stefanos. Stefanos is the main name that I use, and people call me Stefanos. Yes.
That is crazy. It's just having two names. Imagine it's like Nathan Barry. And then it's like,
Nathan Barry
yeah.
Blockley.
Nathan Barry. And we're going to call you Barry from now on. But no, it is, honestly, it's an honor to have you on here, Steph. We've been chatting for many years, seeing on the circuit, and it's just a pleasure to, be around you and watch your success and, just to get a little insight even more onto your career and how you're going with life. But before we get into the podcast and before we get into the content, we got to have a little game just to loosen things up. Is that all good for you?
Absolutely.
All right. So we travel around the world quite a lot, and you get to experience a lot of different foods, different cuisines. I can imagine you'd have some favorite ones. I want you to blind rank these cuisines. You don't know which ones are coming, okay? But you have to put this in order from fifth being the worst or your least favorite, and number one being your number one favorite, okay?
Okay.
All right. So the first one we've got here is Japanese. Where are we putting Japanese on the list?
Third.
Third. Okay. Third is pretty good. What about Australian? If we even have cuisine. Australian
I have
barbecue.
no idea. I know it's your home. I know it's your home country, your home cuisine. I have no idea. But I have learned the kangaroo is pretty tasty. I will put fourth.
Okay, I respect that. All right, Chinese.
Fifth.
Oh, okay,
Ooh.
fifth. Here we go. We're getting to the pointy end. So we've got, what have we got left? 2 and 3?
Yeah, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. We've got 1 and 2, the top two spots. So where is Italian going onto the list?
Second.
Second. Did you know this was going to come? Okay? The last one's Greek. I'm so.
Yes.
I'm so.
I won.
Wow, it worked out
Very
very
nice.
well. Save top spot. I should have put some weird one in there.
Yeah, you should have just put English. You just right at the end. So we had that as number one.
Very smart, very smart. Well, thanks so much again for coming on to the podcast, Steph. But
Thank you very much.
we're
Thank
talking
you.
about.
It's my pleasure.
I think you need to come to Australia again to properly experience our cuisine because we are more than fourth. I'm sorry, we're more than fourth. Though then again, I don't know if we beat Japanese. I think
Japanese is pretty good.
Maybe I am unfair to you. I'm very sorry, but I have to try first. Otherwise, I cannot tell.
Yeah, we'll get you over here. Now, we can talk about so many things with your career, Steph, but I feel like it would be wrong to not start with your family. You have such a strong karate family in Athens with the Odysseys Karate Club. Obviously, starting with Maritza, your mother, who is also a current national coach, but your father, Nectarios, who was a former national coach, alongside your brother, Dionysius, who was a former grand winner and many-time K1 medalist and European medalist. And then now you have your sister, Georgina, who is the European Games bronze medalist 2023 and has some stories to share about that. And now your youngest sister, Lydia, who is cadet European champion, Youth League golds, and now only 19 years old and up and coming in the senior division. This is such a strong karate family. I've never seen so many athletes in one family. Just touch on what it's like growing up with such a strong karate family.
I will start with the fact that I'm sure you know very well, humans are greedy. So if you told me 1 decade or 2 decades ago that I would have not half of the medals I have right now, but even fewer, just 1 or 2 European medals, I would say, I did that, really. But as the time goes by, and you start to do some things, and your family and your entire club, and you really devote yourself in what you do, because you are inside, very, I mean, you are too much inside of this life, and some specific things happen. It's normal to you. I mean, I don't feel too much successful right now, if you ask me. I feel normal. Uh, but sometimes it's good to go to the past, and I'm trying to do that because I think it's wisdom to do that sometimes. So I'm very, how can I say, grateful for this life. I feel blessed. I'm happy with the success and the benefits that sports and karate so far has taught us.
Did I hear that right? Did he say that he doesn't feel that successful right now?
That's
Is
crazy.
that is insane. You've the accolades that Mitchell was just listing off before we brought you on is already incredible. I'm really excited to dive into what's next. Like if this is not total success in your career, what is total success? So we're keen on that. But yes, we do want to hear about more of your upbringing. So like, when was the first time you picked up gloves? When did you start karate?
You know, when your parents have met inside the karate dojo, and they married because of this place and because of this sport, and they also decide to open a dojo, and they decide to have kids. I mean, it's normal that the children do karate even in their mother's belly. I don't really remember when I put gloves for the first time, but I can tell you I was very young, maybe 3 years old, maybe even less. Maybe I was 2 years old. So I'm not sure because I'm 26 years old right now. I don't know exactly how many years I do karate, but I know I remember that I said I am a fighter. I mean, I said that from a very, very, very young age.
Yeah, wow. I think you can safely say that you've been doing it all your life, the
Mhm.
full 26 years. Was there a time, especially like when we're in school and we're growing up and we have all these different opportunities? I know football is massive in Greece and in Athens, and so is basketball as well.
Yes.
Were you ever interested in any other sport other than karate?
No, no, it was always karate for me, but because I also study physical education and sports science right now, and I learn many new things. I see the athletic world from another perspective, not from the side of the athlete, but also from the side of the coach, of the teacher, of the anything. Um, I see that many kids that have talent in one specific sport, usually it's not one specific sport. I mean, there are more. And I was like this personally. I felt I have a talent in gymnastics. I always love to dance, especially break dance or things with gymnastics. I mean, you can tell from my celebrations in the competition
All the
sometimes.
backflips.
Yes, so I mean, I had talent in a lot of sports, but karate mostly because of the environment of the family always was like the first priority.
Wow, that's amazing. So, do you think that following your brother's footsteps a little bit, that the age gap between you two is not so much, is it?
It is 5 years.
5 years. So it's a good amount, but it's enough for you to sort of watch him grow up and idolize him a little bit. Did that give you some comfort and knowing that he was leading the pathway and you were following his footsteps? Did that make the journey a lot easier to stick to the sport?
Dionysus was my first hero, and I don't say it because I'm a romantic soul. I say it because it's really true. 5 years, as you said very well, it is not like a huge difference, but it's not a small difference as well. Is It's enough to make you, yes, idolize your brother, but also it's enough that because you understand, because you see your brother's life what may follow in your life as well. So I saw some losses of Dionysus, and I tried to catch them, to understand them, not to do the same myself. I saw some victories of Dionysus, and I said, maybe this happens when you work so hard like your brother does. And maybe about the retirement, I saw his feelings when he retired, how sad he was, but how proud he was about all his journey, all his career, or his life. And so, in some way, I know that something similar is going to happen with me as well.
That's fantastic. Did you ever feel, because Dionysius was such a successful athlete in his time, did you ever feel a sense of pressure to maybe live up to those expectations or even to try and surpass him? And was there ever any sort of stress that you felt trying to follow Dionysius?
Yes, I have one story to share with you. Specifically, it was 2022. I felt very jealous of Dionysus after his an unbelievable season of him, and I told him actually after the World Games because he gained European medal, several Premier Leagues this season, gold Mediterranean Games, and world bronze World Games. And after the World Games, I told him, I hate you, bro. He said, why? I said, I'm very jealous of you right now because you are like this. You have conquered nearly everything. You are amazing, but I'm very jealous of you because now this means that I have to do the same like you did now. And this is not easy at all. But I also said to him that I love him because at the same time, I mean, I love him because that is how I'm going to hunt him. And I will work harder and I will work smarter and I'm going to do it.
Did you have that conversation with him and you sat down and did you work through it together? Obviously, Dionysius is your coach now and he's quite involved in your journey. So I can imagine this would have been such a pivotal moment for connecting you two together to move forward.
Yes, we actually had this conversation after his World Games medal. I mean, we had a very real conversation. He understood about my jealousy. He understood that there are good intentions in what I'm saying. But yes, he was not like my full-time coach that time because he was also an active athlete, that's why. But right now, yes, okay, he is my coach. He's not in karate anymore in terms of athletes. But we have a very special connection and bond because we are brothers. We have passed through anything together. So he knows me. Sometimes I don't have to speak. He understands what I am passing through.
Can you maybe just go back and when you were growing up with Dionysius and obviously the rest of your family who owned the dojo, ran the dojo, and that's where you trained, can you paint us a little bit of a picture of what it was like growing up in Athens, how often you trained from week to week? Did you train with your brother through your younger years or was there quite a bit? Because 5 years is a decent amount of time. So can you just paint us a picture of that growing up into the senior sort of age in Athens as a karate athlete?
Yes, there are many chapters in this life, as you may understand, but I'm going to start from the age of 11. First of all, I have to tell you that until the age of 11, I loved kata more, not kumite.
Oh,
Really?
Carter boy,
Kat-
Steph. That is crazy.
That
Yes.
is definitely got to be a
Yeah.
question about Georgina as well, of
Yeah.
being a kata athlete, but please continue.
Yeah, it was not bad actually. I had Balkan title in children's category, another bronze medal in Balkan. Team Kata as well, several times national champion. But there comes a summer. I was in the beautiful island of Crete in Greece, where we have every year holidays. And Dionysus decides, for me, very democratic, that I will be champion in Kumite. And he told me like this, and I said, okay. And we started training this summer every day with him in a space of 6 tatami. That's all the space we had in the house, but every day we trained. After this, my love transferred from kata to kumite. But you know, when you are a child, you don't understand about professional athletes and about the way that the champion must be. I lost myself, I was a child. So the professional work started when I was 14, really. Again at summer, August 1st of 2014 was the day that I started my professional journey. And I don't mean professional in terms of financial support or something like this. These things in Greece that don't happen. But in terms of mindset, in terms of habits, in terms of anything. After this, yes, I trained a lot with my brother every day and not once per day. He fixed my programs, my schedules about how I should train, what kind of training I must do, how many hours, the quality, the quantity, everything. And later, the nutrition started to enter the game, basically everything.
Wow, it seems extremely professional at such a young age. How did you deal with, we're all kids at that stage, still at 14 years old. How did you deal with the pressure of becoming a professional athlete? Obviously, you're not talking about the financial side of it, but just the stress of being so locked into your craft at such a young age. Was there any distractions going around with school or maybe some other girls or other sports? But, like things like that, you were obviously extremely focused.
I would say it gave me meaning of life, and I find myself a very weird creature, as we all are, in fact. And because I feel from a very young age that I have a fire inside me that is burning very widely, it gave me purpose. And at a very big extent, the training that I was having and everything I did was because of the meaning of my life. So, distractions, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say, I mean, it's a very logical question what you did. I didn't have, it gave me meaning. I switched my brain, it's something switched inside of me, and nothing else mattered. The girlfriends, no, the friends, no, the family, no. I just wanted to be the best, the world champion, because I felt I can be the best in my category in the world. And so I continued with this plan, this vision.
I think this is a perfect time to bring in philosophy, because obviously, yeah, you became under 21 world champion, so you found that success at the end of your junior career, and you reached the top. There is nowhere past that for a junior in this world. So, how important was philosophy in your training, and what was the philosophy? We hear that it gave you meaning, but it's very hard to attribute a lot of that's what made the difference between you just training and doing drills and fighting, but the mind really made the difference between a good and a great athlete. Can you talk us about the philosophy that you were exploring during this time?
So at the age of 14 approximately, I started my professional journey. But 3 months ago, I lost in the national championship. And people see me now and think I was always a champion. It doesn't work like this. And not only in me myself, but also in probably all champions that the human eyes can see. And when I was 15, I lost in the national championship again. We discussed with my brother because I had a very, very difficult time that back then. I was a teenager and I was a depressed teenager because, as I told you before, it gave me meaning. And I felt like in the purpose of my life, I'm not skillful. I'm not how I must be. And of course, then discouragement enters the game, and you feel like maybe I will never be what I said I want to be and what I can be. Maybe I cannot. And so we discussed with my brother, and he told me, you need something else. It's not about your body, it's about this. It's definitely not about this, it's about this. So we have to fix that. How? He said, look, you are going to write every day in your journal. I said, why? I don't want. And I was very difficult to listen to him because I was very like a revolutionary also as a teenager. I mean, too much. He said, look, you are going to do that. You are going to write every day in your journal about everything. Writing will give your mind order, not chaos. And you will see the results within a week or so. What else? You are going to have mental training, at least twice per week, and many, many, many other habits. In the next national championship, I won the first place, which means I got the ticket for the European Championship, and I got my first European medal.
That is absolutely insane. The blind faith to trust your brother in guiding you into, the escaping that sort of darkness that you were feeling. And I sort of relate to you a little bit on that, Steph. And when you attribute your entire being to becoming successful in karate, and that's just making it your whole life, you can sort of get extremely wrapped up in that sort of bubble. And when things are not going your way, and it's not really feeling like it's happening the way that you want it to, it can make you feel less value as a person. And so I really relate to that, and to hear that you felt that, being as successful as you are and the things that you've achieved, is really quite comforting. So maybe I got to start journaling.
I think is this the second time this has come up on a podcast
Yeah, I
as
know.
well that you need
Feels
to start
directed.
No, I completely agree
Yeah.
with you, Mitch. Like we actually have a lot of Australian athletes at the moment that are in those sort of junior divisions, 16, 17, and that we have some stupidly talented kids
Extremely.
as well coming up. But we actually hear from the parents that there's like a block in how they train and how they want to approach their career as a karate athlete. And they think of dropping karate, like quitting karate, because something's not working, something's not aligned. So to hear that you felt similar struggles in terms of meaning and purpose, because as you said, when you do attribute a lot of your individualism to success in karate and that doesn't come, you have those issues. What was it about the journaling that shifted your mindset and allowed you to achieve success again? And was success the answer as well?
First of all, I started to write the first time I had to write. And of course, I didn't want to write, but my brother said so, so I had to do it. Yeah, finally. So I didn't know what exactly I am supposed to write. About what? And I said, when you don't know, write everything down. And okay, the minimum, the maximum damage you can take is that, okay, the information that you write is unimportant. I said, it's not a big deal. you will not die. It's just that unimportant information. Perfect. And so I wrote everything down. After a month, I said I am going to go from the page 1 to page 100 or 30. And I will gather all the very important information, the most fundamental, about what my coach said. I didn't do very well the Yakuzuki. Okay, I opened my hand. Okay, I should do it straight. About everything. I didn't sleep well, and the training the other day was not good. Have to sleep earlier because you know some things. You know you must sleep early, but to see it with your own eyes, written down by your hand, by yourself, is like very practical. And so, step by step, you say, because of these 5, 10, 15 minutes that you spend in your day in order to write down everything, the results may be huge. So, with small steps and clever steps, and not a very large amount of time, it can save your life in a fight, or two fights, or in an entire championship, or imagine it in a decade what these small habits can do. So basically, it gave me psychological help first of all, and after practical as well. Actually, I have to show you something. I have it next to me.
Oh,
This is my journal. I cannot without it. Actually,
oh wow, warrior journal.
yes. And this is not.
That is thick.
Yeah.
That would take a long time to get through, surely.
And this is actually the journal number 20.
Number
So
20.
Did I
this
hear that
means
right?
that,
20?
yes.
Oh my
So that
God.
means that
Yeah.
from the age of 16, and today I am 26, and I don't think there is one day that I haven't written down, or maybe there is, but we speak about very rare days that maybe I am in my off season and maybe I write once per 2 days, something like this. But uh, I cannot without it. I train and I go immediately to write. I do something important. I have some emotions that I feel that I have to share somewhere, and I go immediately to write. Otherwise, I feel I am imprisoned in them,
Wow.
and that they may control me. So I have somehow to put it out, and I think this is the healthiest way to do.
That is fantastic. And just like you said, you're imprisoned by your own emotions and thoughts, and that is fantastic. So obviously, it's not just karate, not just a karate journal. It's about everything around your life. But I can imagine there are some tactical gems in that page right there.
Yeah, what do you specifically write about? Like, as soon as training finishes, you go to the journal, you start scribbling down. What are you reflecting on?
I started by writing mostly about karate. Later, I understood that. Okay, let's say about me. I am a fighter, so the fighter Stefanos, but the fighter Stefanos is also part of the human Stefanos. So I cannot only focus on my athletic journey like strictly. I have to go outside of it because I am one spirit, and just there are some parts of me that every part has its specific role. So the last years, and I think I have developed a lot mentally because of that. I write about everything. So training, I have one specific dot that I write about my training, about the supplements, because it's like the journal keeps me consistent, Because if I don't write my nutrition schedule, my supplements, or anything, maybe I will not receive it. So when I write, I know I have to do it. Uh, about my recovery. Did I do massage this week? Yes, I have to write it down. It's very important. Or maybe injuries are going to occur. Did I do my sauna, my hot bath, my cold bath, my foam roller? So recovery. Emotions, like I already told you. Projects. It can be a PowerPoint. It can be whatever. But projects about the book that I read. Right now, I read Jordan B. Peterson, The 12 Rules of Life. And like the supplements and the recovery, I said again, journal keeps me consistent. If I know that I'm going to write it down in my journal, it means something. So everything that is productive during my day, I write it down.
Wow. Do you write down the way that you want to approach training in terms of your emotional and mental state, like not just training but competition? Because obviously we know very well that competition and fighting is not just about kicking and punching and the tactics. It's about how you approach it in a mental capacity. Do you ever spitball ideas or just think about different ways to approach a tournament, or is it very much the same way that you go to every tournament now?
Yeah, it has happened many times, what you say, Mitchell, actually, that maybe I am 1 week before competition and I say, in this competition, I want to be crazy. I want to give it all my passion. Or in this competition, I want to be whatever may happen. Maybe my performance is not good. Maybe I'm really bad physically because of the weight cutting, or here I'm lost. But in any case, I want to be as calm as I can be in any situation. Maybe I am really good, maybe I'm really bad, but I have to keep my calmness and my mind to be in order. So yes, it has happened many times. But mostly it happens also, definitely it happens after the competition.
So what was the lead
So
into? Oh, sorry. Keep going, Steph.
no, it's just that I do my self-criticism. That's what I want to say.
So I'm wondering, what was the lead into 2023 Budapest World Championships? What was the mindset going into that championships?
It was nothing special. I did a very good preparation. I think the highlights of the preparation was that I was in two training camps, one in Hong Kong and one in Cairo, Egypt. And this helped me a lot to change space, change coaches, change partners, change habits. You know, when you are in another country, you don't have work, you don't have university, you don't have everything. You just care about your training and your journal or anything someone has, but nothing special. The most special moment of like before the competition was in the warm up, something that my brother did. I was in the warm up. In the first fight, I was really awful. I was really bad. And so he came, he said, "You are very bad. You cannot be world champion like this. Focus. You have to be world champion. Otherwise, you must wait another 2 years to do it. If you do it, today is the day." And I had my eyes closed. I felt really angry about everything he said, actually, because in the beginning he just punched me with words about my performance in the first fight. But after, he just brainwashed me. And so I would say something like intense and fundamental happened the day of the competition and not so much in the preparation.
What was going through your head? What was that what was that actually like, the thought process? What changed in that? Did you you say like it wasn't like you became angry, but what was the change between your first fight and the rest of the tournament that led you to become world champion?
I felt that day that I must be calm. When Dionysus talked to me, I said, we go, we go for everything. We go to conquer. I will risk now. I will fight with risk. I will put all my passion inside the fight, and if it is that I lose, I lost. But I must know that in the end of the day, I put everything inside the tatami. I put my soul inside there. And so I did. So if I had to say one word, what changed, I would say passion.
So, what do you think it was in that first match? Were you maybe trying too hard to become world champion, or was there so much pressure in your mind? Did you feel sort of a sense of anxiousness? Was it just a lot of energy? What was it in that first match?
The first match is the first match. Many athletes around the world face it. It's the most difficult fights of the competition because you are not well warmed up. You, the pressure is too much, and I also happened that I fought with an athlete that 2 weeks ago we were training together in my club, and I said, "What is this draw? First match with." So I couldn't even handle it like ideally. I understand the fight is the fight and that we are opponents, but still it's strange. You cannot be 100% aggressive when you gave the training and you did together for a week or 10 days or something, and you like the other person is a little bit complicated inside the tatami. Maybe this also played an important role to that.
Yeah, wow, that is just terrible luck.
That's the worst
Mainly
draw.
for the other opponent,
Yeah.
opponent, isn't it? So tell us, like you obviously fought your way. You switched your mind between the first round and the rest of the tournament. You ended up winning the gold medal again from your junior world championship gold medal, but this time as a senior world champion in 2023. What did that mean to you? What was the payoff? So for all those athletes around the world who are struggling with their own individual things, tell them why it's worth it. What's at the end of the road.
I wouldn't say the end of the road is the winning of the world championship. I wouldn't say that. It's a lie. I wouldn't say to them that trying is the end of the road. It's not. I would lie. For me, because right now I'm having a little bit of a difficult period of my life, and I mean also in the sports life. I would say it's the combination of the journey and the destination. I would say that the end of the road probably is very cliche actually, is that when you finish with the sport, the benefits that you have received through this journey, who you have become, the wins, the losses, the experiences that this sport or any sport gives, the moments you were strong, where nobody was even looking at you, the sacrifices you did. And yes, in the end, the moments that you felt rewarded in all the world, maybe that they don't mean anything. But for you, this is your world. And so it means the world to you, and this is all that matters in a final call, because some things, for the history of the universe, they don't mean anything. But even your soul, it means everything. This is all that matters, because memories stay in the end. And so, if I had to say something, I would say the combination of the journey and the destination to be at the highest level.
Wow. And so, how did that feel from having that memory of winning the world championship in Budapest? What did that mean to you, and how did that feel?
I felt I made everyone proud, and I felt it was not an atomic, an individual victory. I felt it was a victory of my entire family and my entire country. I really felt that because I love my country very much. Uh, I'm not like how can I say? Like I love my country and I hate everyone else's country. No, I love all countries actually. But it's just that I love my country. I feel like Greece has offered a lot to the world, and I felt I gave something back. Myself, I gave something back to this amazing country. Uh, and the same is for my family, because if it was not my family, I wasn't, I wouldn't be who I am today. Not even the half of it. So I think this is it. Of course, there is also the the phrase, "Oh my God, what did I do? What did I do?" I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to be in the final of the World Championship in seniors category, not in the under 21. I have this title. It's okay, but it passes. In seniors, it will never be raised. It's something, it will always be there forever, even after I'm long gone. And today I did that. Everyone will be watching in YouTube the fights, and even my kids will say, "This is my dad. This is my dad." I really, I really thought all of that. It's a dream come true, and I was one of the persons that I said, dreams is good to have them, but probably it will never. It's not. I will not. I will not do them. I will not make them true. This is for other people, but it seems that it's not for other people. It seems that it's not only for me, it's for all people to do them. So hunt your dreams.
Wow, that is fantastic. You mentioned that you felt a sense of pride for your country and that you gave it back to Greece. Obviously, like you did for your family, and that's a common theme that we were talking about today. But what do you think lies for ahead for Greek karate? And you've obviously, we were talking about it before. There's been a long line of amazing athletes from Greece, and there are currently some amazing athletes competing right now. But what do you think is the trajectory for Greek karate, and how do you think you've influenced the state of Greek karate today?
As you said before about the Australian juniors, I'm going to say the same about the Greek. Many talents, many talents. I believe the future can be bright. However, there are some difficulties in the financial part, also in the pace that the everyday life happens. So fast rhythm in everything. I right now I study in the morning. I have to work. I have to train. Sometimes double training. It's really difficult. But my country, the last decades is like this. So everybody is like me basically. We are not professional athletes in terms of economical situation, and I could say we are handling pretty well that situation. It's like we are built with difficulties in our life, and it means nothing. It's normal for us. Now that the future can be bright and that it is going to be bright is sometimes a very different situation. But I will keep it optimistic. I think we can have European and world medalists in every category the next years. But okay, I understand that not a lot of people have this passion. For some people, it is just a hobby, and I find it a little bit difficult due to the possibilities that someone is going to be. I will not say a champion like I am, but I will say with the results that I have, at least.
Yes, I think especially like I am so excited to see Greece at the European Championships compete for that spot for the Karate World Cup at the end of the year. I think that's something everybody's looking forward to, and I see the trajectory for Greece to be very strong. You mentioned before that the balance is very hard. For a lot of these young athletes, and I'm sure you have experienced this yourself as well, balancing life and karate, and you study as well. So how do you go about balancing life? How do you decide what's a priority and how to direct your life? Talk to us a little bit about this.
The sport has to be the priority. And I don't say it without thinking. I know that maybe parents will listen to what I just said and they will say, but first of all, reading is the priority. Okay. So, if reading always is the priority, so this means the sport, we always cut it. Always. Okay. The disadvantages of not letting your child go to sports in a martial art, in the sport of karate, for instance, is going to have huge consequences. The benefits that a child has the moment it enters the tatami. Okay, we speak the three of us now, and we understand each other. For us, it's normal what the benefits we have received so far from karate. But take a closer look to the children that never got into the mat. You will see antisocial behavior. You will see, yeah, not wanting to enter a team, like a social team. This has many, many problems, and in the future, it's going to be a big obstacle in their social life. Maybe about their relationship, maybe about their friendship, maybe about their family. I don't speak even about the self-knowledge that he gains. About bullying. I know I am going too deep into deep waters, but it's true. Because sorry, I'm just very tired of more and more parents say about reading, and then their children become obese, and we have a big problem in Greece for children obesity.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Stefanos. I think what a lot of people don't understand is karate is more than just a sport, and we say this all the time. But it is more than just the physical building and the mental build. You get so many side effect benefits out of doing karate that can reflect in the other side, other aspects of life. And I think the mindset of the sport always has to be the priority is a very reflective of what you've achieved, and the fact that you've become world champion. That sort of mindset has definitely led to those successes. But the other benefits that you've got along your journey, like I know you talk about after retirement, what is next, and how has your career helped what you're going to achieve further down the track? So I think in terms of a spokesperson for karate, I completely agree. It's an incredible sport to do for a lot of these reasons.
Well, he's touching on the growth, right? You're touching on growth as a human being, and the lessons that you can learn to make you a better person throughout life. And if you're passionate about something, you should definitely go chase it, and all of the other stuff will work itself out. The reading, the working, and the studying, and all of this sort of stuff, it'll all work itself out if you want to just chase your dreams, I guess. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like it's a great message to tell young kids.
Sorry. Just a small parenthesis I want to. I am not because I said too much about the sports, but as you have may understood already, I write, I read. I think I consider very important that the children study
Of course.
and that they work on themselves and that they read and they care about school. I just say that there is not a solution to always have it like a poem that okay, sports is secondary. I just wanted to say that because it's not like this, at least for me.
Of course, absolutely. Yep, I completely agree. So, Steph, we are recording this before you take off to go to Lishan in the Premier League, and we're a bit talking in the past at this stage. So, hopefully, it all goes well for you. We're wishing you all the best, and we can reflect on this as a congratulations on your gold medal. Well done. That's fantastic. Well done. But we're looking forward to the European Championships in Germany, in Frankfurt. What is the goal for you? Obviously, going as an individual, and I assume you'll be going as a team as well to try and qualify for your spot at the Karate World Cup later on this year.
I just want to say that I don't have many competitions left for my career. I'm not going to say to you exactly when this is going to happen, but I don't have many competition left for my athletic career. European Championship for me is always important. It's not the most important goal of the season, I must admit. I am, as all the competitors, I am the only competitor of my country that I represent my country. And when it comes to this, instinctively, I have more passion about it. Now, about the individual and the balance, because I am also individual, also in team, it's a little stressful always because you feel like you have two jobs in the same organization, but Team Kumite is only once or twice per year, so I'm always trying to enjoy. And for me personally, because I am in the most featherweight category, the most light weight category, I approach it as a way to show to myself and to others that I can handle everything pretty well. Doesn't matter if the other one is 200 kilograms or or if he's 60. So it's a way for me to change a little bit the concept.
I can't wait to see that. Stefanos at the Europeans. I mean, we heard that he might feel a little bit more passion representing his country at this Europeans, and we know what happens when Stefanos feels that passion.
It's dangerous. It is very dangerous.
Very dangerous. So we were talking before on obviously your success at the World Championships in 2023. What is success to you now? Right at the start of the podcast, you said that you didn't feel complete success in your current achievements so far. So what is you said there's no end of the road, but what is success in your mind for the future of Stefanos?
You mean in terms of the sports?
I think, yeah, let's focus on karate first, and then maybe we say outside of life as well and after retirement.
Mm, the title of the world champion is pretty amazing, but it has one little weakness. As in every success, we need to refuel, because the time goes by, and of course the title remains. It will always stay there, but you just have to continue to be successful. For me, if I have to speak about the end of the road, I would say that in my eyes, the athlete must stay in top shape until the end. There is a phrase in philosophy that says that you don't know if a person had a great life until you see his death. If he
Oh,
dies in a in a decent way, then his life was amazing. Until you see the end, you cannot know. And I'm going to answer the same for the sports. Until the end of somebody's career, you cannot speak about, you know, about his career in total.
Wow. So it's a little bit of a teaser. We have to just wait. We just have to wait until you retire and see what the complete career of Christos-Stefanos Xenos really beholds. But I think it's going to be a fantastic one that a lot of people look back on and remember for years to come.
now,
Thank you very much.
Stefanos, I think before we start talking about the final messages and saying goodbye to you, because this has already been such a long podcast, we have had a bit of a theme over the last couple of episodes where a lot of the greatest that karate has shown the world, a lot of the greatest athletes have at some point in their career felt they've struggled a little bit with the competition and their mindset and all of these things. Now we talked about how there was a little bit in your junior years leading up to your world championship gold medal in the under-21 division. Has there been any more of these struggles, and how did you overcome them?
So, I already mentioned before about the first downfall I had until the age of 16, that I changed mentally some things. Now, I will travel you to 2019, and after the World Championship in Chile, Santiago, that I was world champion in under 21. After this, the pressure was very big, and I felt that because it was the peak that an athlete in the age of 19 could achieve, that after the peak, what else can you do? And then the mind just lost its road, and then the self-belief also went down. Basically, everything was disorganized and chaotic and split up. What was the solution? The solution was calm. I wrote it also in a post of mine some days ago. You lost yourself through the road many times. You stood up, all of them. And now it's one more time that you fell, you are going to do it again. It's +1, it's nothing. It's fall down 7 times, get up 8, they say. What did I do? I started from zero, like I was a nobody, not like I was a world champion. I started like I was a nobody. And I started to increase 0.01% in the technique part. Then in the in the conditioning and the athleticism part. Later to this, that I have to be willing to want it again like I wanted it before, like I desired it before. Because when you climb a mountain, you don't have a hunger for no more. You say, oh, I climbed the mountain. Yes, but you see in front of you there is another mountain that is higher. And first of all, you have to want it. If you don't want it, you will find obstacles along the way, many, many, because we are very clever, the human beings, we are very clever. And we are very clever with the excuses. We can find any excuse we like the moment we want to. So later it was this, that I have to want it. So I watched some fights, I remembered who I am, I saw other fights. Later is the strategy. The strategy is the last always, but it is important. It is without strategy you cannot win. So step by step, like you are a nobody from zero, like you are a little child that learns the A B C D. You start again, you go, you have to find other weaknesses that you have, maybe your self-belief, you must believe in yourself again, you must be very decisive to have fast decision making inside the game, many, many things. I cannot sum up an entire process, but I'm trying my best.
That is just fantastic to hear. The amount of, I don't know, maturity that you had to show at such a young age. Like 19 is quite young to think about all of this philosophy and going deep within inside of you to, do you really want it, and your passion and reigniting that flame to then bring it back to, all right, I've got to start again. And that is an amazing journey. And I mean, we are so thankful that you did, because we are seeing the fruits of your labor right now. And I can't even speak on what we've been talking about this episode, because it's just been extremely fun to talk to you, Steph. I'm not sure what else
Thank you so much.
we can hit on with this episode.
I think I want to hear about the One Piece and Luffy and how
yeah.
what that means in your career and the idea of your career, because I think we all know you from this. It is not Spider-Man.
It's not Spider-Man.
Not Spider-Man. It is Luffy from One
Yeah, it's
Piece.
not.
Yes, talk to us about this, Stefanos. Why did it come into your life, and why do you resonate with him so much?
Before, first of all, this journey started in COVID. Because it was also COVID that it was very difficult. The organizations, the competitions were suspended and they were cancelled. And so I said, I have to do something. I must gain motivation somehow. I was reading my book, but it was not, I wanted something more. I always was listening about other people that it's not just a cartoon, that it's something more. Let's give it a try, I said. I put the first episode. I went crazy. The motivation was amazing. The deeper lessons that it had was unbelievable. And Luffy was a motivation because he was a very thin guy like myself. He was a child. I mean, his heart had no harm and, you know, bad, like evil inside it. And the main protagonist had a great dream about being the king of the pirates. I said, oh my God, I want to be a king myself, a king in karate, but it doesn't matter the factor, the field. And the journey started like this. Right now, I'm watching a different anime. Um, that again, you can see from my phone as well. I see this anime
Oh
right now.
yes,
Oh, it's
that's what we're talking about.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Moto. That's our guy. That is the best.
Mitchell Bravo.
Yeah, we love
Yeah, I
it. We
was
grew
watching
up
it.
with this.
Probably, yeah, same. Me too. I grew up like this, watching it. But now, as you get older, you see the meanings that as a child you could not fully understand, not at all actually. And animes are also from originated from Japan, as is karate. So, and I love the Japanese culture in general. So for me, it's not only that I entertain myself. Of course, it's entertainment, absolutely. But it's also a productive way of spending my time to relax between the trainings. If I have a triple training, sometime I will spend it in watching anime. And I also write down again the phrases, the quotes that I find very motivational. And I think I refuel myself like this.
Can you give us like your one of your favorite quotes that you have from either One Piece or Yu-Gi-Oh or both?
Yes. Give me 1 minute.
Yes,
I'm going
please.
to find it in 10. Okay. People might laugh and call it foolish logic, but it's enough for me. That is what romanticism is all about.
Wow. What does that mean to you?
As I told you, as I mentioned to you before, guys, for some people that somebody is a national champion or that I am a world and European champion, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he's an entrepreneur and he doesn't care about these things. For him, all is about money or anything else. But for me, this dream means anything. Sorry if it sounds a little heavy, but if I die right now, I'm amazingly good with that. I have completed my dreams. I have experienced things that many people don't even dare to think of. Um, I have developed myself, and for me, romanticism really is uh, is about that, about having a dream, that it means everything to you, that you have so many possibilities that you fail, but you do it anyway because we have one life. And I don't care. I just want to do it. Like Luffy said, uh, just because. I will do it just because. I will not give you any. I want to do it, and that's why I'm going to do it. So, yeah.
That is just fantastic. There are so many life lessons and wisdom in such an amazing person, Steph. And I think the world is blessed to have, you know, an opportunity to understand your brain and the way that you operate and the things that you've learned over the years through your experiences. And I'm just extremely grateful that we were able to, share a platform for your wisdom. And hopefully there's many more times we can have this chat because I don't know, I feel like there's way more things to get out of that journal and your brain.
Yeah, no, great. And I
Thank you
can
so much. It is because of you. Thank you for inviting me. I actually loved the conversation. I enjoyed it to the fullest, and I felt like I had a casual conversation with you guys, like a coffee, and we say things that we have to say. Thank you very much. I'm honored for from your words.
No, it's been an absolute privilege, Stefanos, and I cannot wait to see a Yu-Gi-Oh celebration.
Oh,
We've
yes.
seen the Luffy celebration. I can't wait to see this Yu-Gi-Oh celebration. No, it's been a pleasure of ours, Stefanos, and yeah, the little nuggets of wisdom that you've. I have to start that again.
Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I cannot wait to see the Yu-Gi-Oh celebration, and it's been an absolute privilege to have you on today, Stefano. I'm going to start that again. What I said, because I said privilege twice. What did I say before?
I don't know.
Pleasure. I said pleasure.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No, and I cannot wait to see this celebration. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on tonight, Stefanos. We wish you the best of luck in Lashan, and I hope I see that celebration.
Yep.
But no, I think the amount of wisdom that you've portrayed over this episode is so valuable for the world audience in karate. I think everybody has something to learn from listening to this episode. So we thank you for that sincerely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm not sure if I answered your questions precisely because my brain goes a little
But
bit
as you,
from circle. But I hope it was okay for you.
it
Thank
was
you so much
perfect.
again.
It was perfect. As you said, like it was just like having a conversation over coffee, just like we were drinking Freddo espresso, my friend.
Oh, nice,
Ah,
very nice.
see
Bravo.
that? I gotcha.
It's becoming a little bit of a tradition on the World Karate Cast, but we would like you to sign off with just a couple of words to the community. Anything you'd like to say to the world of karate, please, just go ahead. Thank you, Stefanos.
I don't think I have something specific to say actually. Okay, I have something to say.
Go for it.
Study, it is important. Work with yourself, it's necessary. Train, it's obligatory for many, many reasons. And keep dreaming.
Wow. Thank you so much, Stefanos. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care, mate.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything, guys. See you.
Stefanos is truly living up to the Greek philosopher sort of stereotype, isn't he? Don't you think?
Oh, 100%. I think it's a family thing as
Yeah.
well. I know Dionysius is very into his mindfulness and meditation and philosophy. He loves his books.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see what part that plays into his career and into his mindset going into training and competition and his journaling like that.
So intense.
Yeah.
It's like the book that he had was so thick, and he has 20 of them.
Yep.
That's insane. But I want to know like what the words are. I want to know like
Yeah.
what exactly is he writing down? Obviously, you can't give away all the secrets, but I mean, is it just like I had a bad apple today?
I really like the part that he was saying, like, if he doesn't write it down, he can't hold himself accountable for it. So if he's continuously checking in, I like how he said, like, he was talking about different ways he's approached competition, and then he gets the results from those different approaches, and that teaches him more about what sort of an athlete he is and what the best way to approach a competition is. I mean, it may have been the difference maker between that first round loss in the 2023 World Championships and being able to turn it on for the rest of the competition, because it sounds like that recentering and making himself calm and fighting with passion he would have experienced in a prior competition. So he would have known that, okay, my first round wasn't the best, but I can flip this switch, you know?
Yeah, it's all about building those modes, right? And then understanding that that's how you can reach back into those little modes. And if you're just transversing through competition, just trying the next thing, then it's like it's all just swimming around in your head.
Yep.
And you're imprisoned by your thoughts. But I love that he reached into a place that he needed to go to, obviously with a bit of assistance from his brother, who was quite strict on him, which that dynamic is an amazing coach-athlete brother relationship. I just think it's beautiful to watch, and sometimes I'm frightened when I see it happen. Like, because Dionysius is a scary man.
Yeah, no, I think that dynamic is, I mean, it's paid off, world champion, and he's striving for more. And even, we didn't really get to speak too much about retirement, but we know that, you know, he said he's quite vocal about the fact that his career will end at some point.
As everyone's is.
Yeah, but it is not the end of the journey, and he'll have more to accomplish after that. Like his brother, I think he just ran like 120 odd kilometers in one race in 12 hours. That is insane.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that we're going to see so many more accomplishments and accolades out of Stefanos.
Now, we are looking towards qualification events for the World Karate Cup coming
This
up.
this is where it gets super interesting.
You love it. You love it.
This is like when countries don't make it, when countries get the spots, the passion involved. We get to see how this Karate World Cup and the countries that get to participate evolves throughout the year. And this is the start of it. I can't wait. Sorry, I'm passionate about
Very
this
excited.
one.
It is the best. The Karate World Cup is one of the freshest things that's happened in the world of karate at the moment, and we are kicking off with the Continental Championships in the next coming months. And obviously we talked about the European Championships, which is one of the most intense championships to qualify a spot for the World Cup at the end of the year. We will be also going to the Oceania Championships at the end of May to hopefully secure our spot. So it's all happening, and we'll talk about that as it comes up in the next few episodes.
The premiere of Leshan has just happened, so we're looking forward to the last Premier League of the year where the grand winners will be decided. And I can't wait to see who comes out on top. And then I think, do we interview like the grand winners?
I
think that would, yeah.
We've got to do it.
We'd be doing the world an injustice if we didn't hear from these grand winners. So yeah, we've got a busy couple of months coming up.
We will definitely be following the Premier League standings extremely closely to see who the grand winners end up being for this year, and to watch all of the footage from the Premier League in Leshan. Make sure you're on the WKF YouTube channel as a karate fan. It's the new subscription the WKF has launched. You get early access to new videos, and most importantly, the Premier League finals. They're all cut up nicely in each division. It's just a sweet watch, and you don't need to watch any ads with it. And there's also other exclusive videos and live broadcasts available just for members. So make sure you get on to becoming a karate fan if you're a karate fan.
I'm a karate fan.
You're a karate fan?
Yeah, I'm a karate fan.
I'm a karate fan. We're karate fans.
Yeah, we are karate fans.
Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into the World Karate Cast on the WKF YouTube channel. Please like, share, most importantly, comment. Make sure you comment down below which country you are watching this from so we can greet you in your language. And as always, Nathan, it's been a pleasure and a privilege, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, Mitch.